Welcome to the fourth Wednesday. This is Twitterati.
Hello.
And today we have, and I will read the title and you can tell me about it. Engagement versus broadcasting. Art is not lead generation for Twitter.
Yeah, I got into a conversation the other day with Steve about a project or a concept that we want to work on in terms of, you know, you go to a lot of events, you go to a lot of gathers, and you meet a bunch of interesting people, and you've got like a social part and you've got like a business part. You've got people who are there who want to network, and you've got people who are there who want to drink. Some people want to network and drink. And we were sort of talking about, well, wouldn't it be great if you could have an event which was for 5 hours? A bit like, do you remember in the 70s and 80s where you sort of had that night on a Friday night that was Childline, and there was rows and rows of telephone operators?
Yeah.
And basically when you rang in, you probably got into one of those operators and you had a conversation with them, and they sort of took your amount of money and it went to Childline. Well, extrapolate that idea a little bit. Get rid of the phones, get rid of the desk, get rid of the actual talking to somebody physically on a phone. And imagine 5 or 6 tables, groups of people, round a table, all from different backgrounds. So social media people, web designers, audio engineers. And you have 5 hours to achieve KPIs, as in to achieve goals. So I was talking to Steve about this, and Steve was sort of down the mentality of, yeah, we should get everybody together, and then at the same time they should all retweet a message that will drive, you know, interest. And I was kind of saying, well, that only has a limited amount of time that can work. You know, like if you're all of a sudden at 8 o'clock on a Friday night and 50 people from Nottingham are retweeting the same thing, yes, that's going to drive interest, but that doesn't drive engagement. That doesn't create an opportunity for somebody to then donate money to a charity. And even if it did, there's only so many times you can do that action. So I wanted to talk about the fact that, you know, I've seen a lot of Twitter projects in Nottingham where they've used a hashtag and they've sort of said, you know, if we retweet this, we'll trend. And I'm trying to understand the mentality of how people do not see that is not engagement. And so I really wanted to bring up the idea that, you know, Twitter can be many things to many people, but after a matter of time, that idea of just blasting and retweeting the same thing, even if it's not relevant or if it's just somebody saying something else, that and collecting the hits, oh, that's had 2,000 hits, that's not engagement. You know, like, yes, that's, you're creating a reaction, but that person is not then invested in everything else you say.
In business, there is a sense that until now, the social aspect of who your customers are was irrelevant. It was how many items have you sold, and it's kind of that same mentality, isn't it?
But the thing is, for me, is that the reason why companies on the internet who are managing their social presence really well and have good social teams, people like Ford and Nike and a couple of big names like that, they understand that their message, so good because their products are so good. They're products that people want to put on their feet. They want to associate themselves with that brand. And what I was trying to get across is it's not this mentality of taking old business practices and then putting it onto Twitter and adding it on. It's a new environment for social connection.
Well, I think a lot of, especially the big car companies, a lot of their social engagement is not about generating new business. It's about retaining the old ones. I mean, the advertising of car adverts that are sort of, you go through the big work, you go through a cornfield and the cornfield explodes, and there's, you know, those adverts have never been for new car drivers. It's been to show the existing car owners that they're really cool. So there's a retention element to the social media that is successful, I think.
Yeah, I think it's been around for a long time that generic model does work because people don't question the model. But I think you're also seeing an explosion of people that are realising, you know, climate change and the damages we're doing to the environment, and they want to buy products and they want to be involved with charities that are ethical, have sustainable cause. You know, and this is not about being a capitalist versus socialist. This is about the planet you fucking live on. You know, and I really want people to get out of this mentality that it's just something that you go, come to our site and buy our stuff. You know, there's more to do there. There's scratching the surface. Twitter is just a mechanism of connecting.
I think more and more as well, that mechanism of connecting, that is, if you spend too long in Twitter, it just becomes a noise. It becomes white noise.
White noise channel.
I know.
Yeah, that's it for this week. We will catch up with you next week. I think it's week 5006 next week.
5th Wednesday. It's one of the only months that has a 5th Wednesday this year.
Bothered. My birthday's gone. It doesn't matter. See you later. Bye.